come to Merrifield Garden Center. We know plants.
Good morning, America. Breaking news. The 3 American prisoners held captive in North Korea, released by Kim Jong-un, now back on American soil.
Well, we're starting off on a new footing. This is a wonderful thing that he released the folks early.
A hero's welcome from President Trump and the First Lady overnight, what life was like in captivity, and what the president is hoping for next.
Tornado alert. Reported twisters flattening buildings across the Midwest. Now that severe weather is on the move. Washington, Philadelphia, and New York in its path.
The woman accusing Tom Brokaw of sexual harassment now one-on-one telling her story. What she's saying about Brokaw's blistering attack, calling her a character assassin.
ABC News exclusive. The hero Southwest pilots who landed this plane after an engine exploded, now taking us inside those terrifying moments.
Did you worry you might not make it?
The interview only on GMA this morning.
And too close for comfort. A kayaker in the water, a giant great white shark right there. The scramble to get back into the boat.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. Let's take a look. There they are, those 3 American prisoners held captive in North Korea. That is the moment they came back to the United States.
And they were greeted by President Trump and the First Lady overnight, flashing peace signs as they left the plane, saying it was like a dream to be back home in America.
I bet it was. And the president also sharing this video, a look inside the plane as they met for the first time. That was quite a moment. Our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, has the latest, joins us from Washington. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. It could not have been more dramatic. In the middle of the night, the president and first lady traveling to Joint Base Andrews and boarding that plane that brought the Americans home to freedom.
It was a remarkable reception. Just after 3 a.m., the 3 American prisoners released from North Korea stepped out of that plane and into a made-for-TV moment produced by the president himself. A flash of victory signs, a cheer from the airmen at Joint Base Andrews, and they were home. One saying, "It's like a dream."
This is a special night for these 3 really great people.
Awaiting them on the tarmac, Vice President Pence and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who helped secure the release of the prisoners with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un.
We're starting off on a new footing. This is a wonderful thing that he released the folks early. That was a big thing, very important to me.
The president thanking Kim effusively for releasing the men ahead of the upcoming summit.
I want to thank Kim Jong-un, who really was excellent to these 3 incredible people. He was nice in letting them go before the meeting. I mean, frankly, we didn't think this was going to happen, and it did.
2 of the 3 Americans of Korean descent had been held since last year, 1 since 2015. The release clears one last obstacle for that historic summit, the president sounding optimistic.
My proudest achievement will be, this is a part of it, but will be when we denuclearize that entire peninsula. We have the location set, and we will see if we can do something that people did not think was going to happen for many, many years.
The president says the location of the summit will be revealed in the next few days. Surprisingly, it will not be on the DMZ, as the president had earlier hinted. As for those 3 Americans, they have been taken to Walter Reed for further evaluation and medical treatment, but all appear to be in good health. George?
Yeah, let's hope that is true. Okay, Martha, thanks very much. Our chief White House correspondent, John Call, was there on the tarmac. He asked the president why he thinks Kim Jong-un decided to free the prisoners.
Say it. Why do you think he decided to do this? I really think he wants to do something. I think he did this because I really think he wants to do something and bring that country into the real world. I really believe that, John, and I think that we're going to have a success.
And John joined just now. John, what a different view of Kim Jong-un from those early days in the administration.
Well, I thought it was remarkable because he was saying that he really believes that Kim Jong-un, somebody who he not long ago had called a madman, that he really believes not simply that he can get a nuclear deal with him, but that he believes that he wants to fundamentally, radically change North Korea. I pressed the vice president on that shortly after those prisoners got off the plane out there at Andrews Air Force Base. You were out there with those prisoners just as they set foot on American soil again. How are they? I mean, how were they treated?
Well, we'll see. They're at Walter Reed Hospital now getting medical attention they received all on the way back. But to see them come out on the platform with President Trump and the First Lady, to see the joy on their faces, and to be able to greet them on the tarmac was really one of the greatest joys of my life.
One of those three prisoners had spent 3 years in hard labor in North Korea. What's your sense of how he's doing, and then to come out to this scene?
It's heartbreaking to think of it. In fact, the Secretary of State told me that when the plane refueled in Anchorage, one of the detainees asked to go outside the plane because he hadn't seen daylight in a very long time. But as they came down the stairs, the joy on their faces, their appreciation for the people of the United States, for their countrymen, for the president, and frankly, their gratitude to God was deeply moving. The first words that they said to us were thank you, and then thank you for your prayers.
Because this comes after Mike Pompeo, now Secretary of State's second trip to North Korea, second meeting with Kim Jong-un. Those photographs, the two of them are all smiles. It's almost, I mean, it's remarkable, surreal. Big enthusiastic handshake, like they're old friends. How is that possible? I mean, you yourself have described Kim Jong-un as one of the most brutal dictators on the planet. Well, how all the smiles now?
Well, what you're seeing is diplomacy, but diplomacy that has followed the United States of America speaking truth, that will no longer tolerate the path that North Korea has been on with regard to nuclear missiles. What's different today is that the United States has offered no concessions, nothing in exchange, and yet we do see like this remarkable moment of 3 Americans coming home and the commitments being made by Kim Jong-un. We see signs that this may be different, and it's all a result of President Trump's leadership.
The president called Kim Jong-un a madman. Was the president wrong back then, or is he a madman?
Well, we're seeing hopeful signs from Kim Jong-un that he is prepared to embrace complete denuclearizations. That's his words. But President Trump found a way to communicate in terms, I believe, that Kim Jong-un could finally hear. He could hear that this president was serious about achieving the objective that has eluded the world community for a quarter century. That is the full denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
While the president and the vice president sound hopeful and talk about peace when it comes to North Korea, the tone regarding Iran is strikingly different. The president just yesterday warned that there would be severe consequences if Iran were to restart its nuclear program. I asked the vice president if that meant that the president is willing to go to war to stop Iran from getting a bomb. He didn't answer directly. What he said, though, George, was the United States of America will not permit Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. It sure sounded like a threat of military action.
And it sure does. And, John, it is striking that both the vice president and the president, seem to believe that Kim Jong-un might completely denuclearize?
That he might completely denuclearize, essentially, George, that he might be a transformational historical figure. It's really an amazing turnaround in how they view that man.
Okay, John Carl, thanks very much. Robin?
And on the heels of all that, rising tensions in the Middle East, Israel and Iran attacking each other overnight. Israel claiming Iran began with Iran launching missiles toward its troops in what would be the first direct attack from Iran on Israel. Our chief foreign correspondent, Terry Moran, is tracking all of this for us. Good morning, Terry.
That's right, Robin. Good morning. This is a dramatic escalation in a dangerous confrontation between those two mortal enemies, Iran and Israel, and it all unfolded overnight. First, Iranian forces, as you say, inside Syria, fired 20 rockets into the Israeli-controlled Golan Heights. They targeted Israeli military positions. Well, for months, Iran and Israel, they've been fighting something of a shadow war inside Syria, but Israel says this is the first time Iran, which has sent thousands of troops to Syria to prop up the regime of Bashar al-Assad, has directly attacked across that border. Officials say there were no casualties. And in response, Israel then launched its biggest attack in Syria since 1974. 28 F-15s and F-16s fired more than 60 missiles, striking dozens of Iranian military targets in Syria. Israel says weapons depots and intelligence sites were among those targets. This morning, the Israeli defense minister issued a sharp warning. He said any attack across that border will be answered. He's declared that if it rains in Israel, it will pour in Syria. Robin?
And as we know, Terry, this comes on the heels of the president pulling out of the Iran nuclear deal. So Israel was concerned about this type of escalation, weren't they not?
That's right, and this certainly looks like a reaction from the Iranian regime to President Trump's decision, a reaction that Israel warns could bring the whole region closer to the brink of an all-out war. Robin?
We don't want that. All right, Terry, thank you.
Okay, Robin, thanks. Back home now, and the latest on Michael Cohen. The president's former lawyer is fighting back against the lawyer for Stormy Daniels after new questions are raised about the millions he was paid by companies who wanted help with the Trump administration. Our chief national affairs correspondent Tom Yam is tracking the story. And Tom, Cohen is demanding action against the leaks of his personal information and attacking Michael Avenatti for getting some facts wrong.
That's exactly right, George. It looks like several companies wanted to get into business with Michael Cohen to possibly capitalize on his long relationship with the president. This as Cohen's lawyers are disputing some of the transactions being linked to their client, saying the lawyer who released them, Stormy Daniels' attorney Michael Avenatti, has made numerous mistakes. This morning, the Treasury Department launching an investigation into the possibility financial records tied to the president's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, may have been illegally leaked.
And your response, Avenatti?
This document is inaccurate.
Cohen responding to questions about Stormy Daniels' attorney, Michael Avenatti, who posted some financial details about a company Cohen started shortly before the election, Essential Consultants. Avenatti alleges Cohen used that same shell company to facilitate the Daniels payment in a hush agreement, but also for a consulting practice that had transactions totaling at least $4 million shortly before the election into 2018. Among the web of companies that hired Cohen, AT&T, which allegedly paid him at least $200,000 and has a major merger pending before the Justice Department. The company says they paid to get, quote, insights into understanding the new administration. Pharmaceutical giant Novartis acknowledges they paid Cohen $1.2 million. A company spokesman says they were promised, quote, access to the new administration. Also potentially troubling for Cohen, $500,000 Avenatti says Cohen received from Columbus Nova, a company with deep ties to Putin ally Viktor Vekselberg, a Russian billionaire who reportedly attended the Trump inauguration and, according to the New York Times, was questioned by the Mueller team.
Now you have the right hand of the president, right hand of Mr. Trump, all of a sudden starts taking all of this money from all of these multinational corporations for God knows what. And the American people deserve to know what it was for.
Now, Columbus Nova tells ABC News it hired Cohen as a business consultant for possible real estate deals, but says it had nothing to do with Vekselberg. As for those alleged mistakes made by Avenatti, Cohen's attorney says Avenatti published several foreign transactions linking them to a Michael Cohen, but it's a different Michael Cohen, not the president's attorney. Avenatti, for his part, is characterizing what he put out as being 99% right.
But those transactions were indeed different Michael Cohen's.
Different Michael Cohen.
Okay,
Right.
Tom Yamas, thanks very much. Michael?
Thank you, George. Now to growing concerns about the volcano emergency in Hawaii. Geologists warning more explosive eruptions could be coming, sending boulders and ash flying to an area that's already so devastated. ABC's Kanan Whitworth has the latest.
This morning, we're getting a closer look at some of the homes in the path of the Kilauea volcano eruption, where lava has poured into the streets for the past week, scorching houses and yards like this one. Over a dozen fissures have emerged over the last few days, and on Wednesday, an explosive eruption sending a torrent of ash into the sky. Our Marcy Gonzalez was there.
Oh my goodness, that is just remarkable.
In recent years, the volcano has been sending lava into hard-to-reach areas along the coastline. But in the last week, more than 15 vents have burst open, releasing lava, gas, and steam inside residential neighborhoods.
This right here is the biggest lava flow in Leilani Estates. This is the one that continued on for about a half mile. And as you fly over it, you can see it has taken down power poles and changed the entire landscape of this neighborhood. Underneath some 15 feet of lava rock is homes and cars.
There is no sign of how far the lava will spread or when the eruption will stop. Police are now going door to door to evacuate residents near 2 new volcanic vents.
We hope that within, weeks, a month maybe, that we'll be back in here.
And all of that toxic volcanic gas spreading for more than 60 miles. It's posing potentially deadly risk to everyone in the evacuation zone, especially to the elderly and those with breathing problems.
It's really thick. It just makes your eyes water, your throat hurts. Everything hurts, and your lungs literally ache, so you gotta just run.
Geologists are very concerned that Kilauea could erupt violently in the coming days. They say that this happens when the lava lake drops low enough to react with the groundwater. It could throw boulders out the size of cars. Michael?
All right, thank you so much, Kane. I'm sure that's news no one wants to hear. Now we're going to go to our exclusive with the hero pilots who landed that Southwest jet after its engine exploded. They sat down with Martha Raddatz for their first interview to talk about those harrowing moments.
Tammy Jo, describe to me the moment when you heard that bang. What kind of bang? What went through your mind?
It was rather radical, and it yawed, and then it began its own descent.
We were passing through about 32,000 feet when we had a large bang and a rapid decompression.
During those few minutes when you didn't know how it would end, did you worry you might not make it?
No.
Never?
No.
Never.
As long as you have altitude and ideas, you're okay. We had both, so.
And thank goodness they had altitude and ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, real heroes right there. And you can see the full interview on 2020 tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC.
Still so remarkable how they were able to keep control of that plane. Now to Ginger. Tornadoes reported in the Midwest, severe moving east, Ginge?
Yes, so coming right here, actually, down through Philadelphia. I'm going to show you that in just a moment. But first, we start with that funnel, and there were tornadoes reported between Madison and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That low had a lot of power with it. You can see the damage that it left behind. Also, images coming out of Fenimore, Wisconsin. So we wanted to show you that just so you know the power of what is to come, because that same jet stream, that same low, going to track a couple of those cold fronts across. And you really, from Binghamton right there through parts of New York, down through Philadelphia, Maryland, Delaware, into Virginia, all have the potential for not just damaging wind, but we've seen it do this tornadoes, so it could do that again today. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the Stormy Cities, sponsored by Prudential.
Prudential asked these couples, how much money do you think you'll need in retirement? Then we found out how many years that money would last them.
How long do you think we'll keep? Oh, stop. You're gonna leave me back here at year 9? How did this happen?
It turned out a lot of people fell short of even the average length of retirement.
We have to think about not when we expect to live to, but when we could live to.
Let's plan for income that lasts all our years in retirement.
Prudential, bring your challenges.
A warm one today. We are on weather alert as storms will be firing during the afternoon hours. Could see a passing shower by late morning, but look at that. Between 2 and 7, could be looking at some hail, some gusty winds, and some very heavy rain with lightning coming through. The evening will be fairly quiet. Hey, if you've got graduation set for Friday, some of the high schools, and Saturday, Howard University, it is going to be dry, quiet, but hot at 92. Chance for some afternoon storms coming your way on Mother's Day, mainly during the afternoon hours.
Our interview with a woman accusing Tom Brokaw of sexual harassment, why the former network correspondent is speaking out all these years later, what she wants from NBC and Brokaw.
And the people who were promised dogs that would help save their lives, spending up to $25,000, now saying they didn't get what they paid for. That company, as you can imagine, is under fire this morning. Come on back.
Get here. Today, historical sites are disappearing, but AI can help